Hi, my name's Alicia, and today I'll be speaking about repeated reading and how it may be implemented into the classroom for students who are having difficulties with reading. To start off here, I'm going to speak about what repeated reading entails. Repeated reading includes students reading at the same passage repeatedly. The student continues to read the passage until there are no errors. It is mainly designed to increase fluency and comprehension. It can be carried out in groups or individually. And last, it was originally designed for students with reading disabilities. However, now it has been adapted to children who have some difficulties in reading. The reason fluency is so important for children to master is because it allows them to better comprehend what they're reading. When a child is having difficulty reading, they become overly consumed in the reading and miss out on comprehending what they're reading. Fluency therefore includes the ability to read accurately and quickly. Fluency is needed to be a successful reader. It includes reading with speed, accuracy, expression, and fluency, which includes the ability to develop better comprehension. With the development of fluency, with repeated reading, Chomsky in 1978 stated that to increase the fluency of struggle readers through repeated reading, students gain greater confidence and are able to improve their reading. This involves developing instant efficient word recognition, practicing repeated reading of text, and receiving feedback and guidance from others. The role of the teacher is very important, along with other adults who are able to carry out this procedure with students. It is important for the educator to be able to properly implement repeated reading. Also, keeping record on the students will allow the teacher to see if the procedure is working to his or her advantage. At last, it is important for the teacher to advocate for the child. This may include talking to parents, asking for a specialist to assess the child, and last, ensuring the needs of the student is being met. Now comes time to implement repeated reading. To properly implement repeated reading, it is important first to determine the independent reading level of the student. Second, you need to set a goal for the student to reach. Make this goal reachable so that the student is not set up for failure. Third, give a student a book or a passage at their independent level. Fourth, record errors, substitutions, and omissions while the student is reading. This allows the educator to go back and see if the procedure is benefiting the student. Fifth, calculate the student's word accuracy using a word accuracy formula. This can be provided through the PM Benchmark program that's available in some schools or other resources which may be found online. Last but not least, ask the student if they have any questions or concerns about the reading. This can set them up for the next time they attempt to read the book or passage. Students who benefit from repeated reading. As I mentioned earlier, students with reading disabilities benefit from repeated reading, and it was originally created for them. However, now we have learned through studies that ESL students, ELL students, students living with cognitive disabilities, and students who face multiple risk factors in their life also benefit from repeated reading. Research. In 1987, Dallhauer investigated the positive influence that two repeated reading procedures have on second grade readers. The results of this investigation showed that readers who struggle with reading accuracy and comprehension significantly improved with the implementation of repeated reading, regardless of the training procedures that were employed. In the second study, Stahl and Huback, 2005, studied basal reading instruction. They stressed on fluent reading and automatic recognition using both repeated reading and partner reading. As the study presented similar findings as the first, they also found that when the students were invested or interested in the reading, they were able to reach fluency at a lesser amount of time. Therefore, it is important that not only the educator choose a text at their level, but they should also choose a text that interests them so that they can better their fluency in a less amount of time. The last two studies found that the implementation of repeated reading came great improvement for all recipients. Therefore, repeated reading plays a huge factor in the rate that the students are able to read and the progress they make throughout time. Here I added some resources that you may look at. Thank you very much for listening.